Watch this. Watch this. You've seen the obelisk, which represents the penis. Right? This is the pyramid. Now, if you take the pyramid and turn it upside down and do this, with the belly button, it represents the pubic hairs of a woman that's pointing down to the damn vagina. That's the symbol. Then you understand the stuff. The pyramid, which is the obelisk, which is erect, and the pubic hairs upside down, because if you take a damn pentagram and draw it upside down, what is this way is also this way. And you can form the Star of David with two inverted triangles. And one is the head of the penis, and one is the vagina. And that's the stuff you're dealing with here. You see, that's the stuff you're dealing with here. In Hebrewism, they're going to tell you that you cannot ascend upon the Father, not unless you are circumcised. Well, how does that mean when it comes to women? Not unless you are circumcised. They're not talking about the physical circumcision of the penis, because hell, you can wait till you down near 40 and get circumcised. That ain't nothing. They're not talking about that. And the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Hebrews, and all of them was talking about circumcision that was real common in ancient cultures. But they said that you cannot ascend to the heaven realm without a circumcised penis. Without a circumcised penis. They was not talking about the physical doggone penis, because some people are women. You got two penises. If you have two penises, you have the phallus symbol down here, and you have the penis in your brain called the pineal gland. And an uncircumcised pineal gland is a calcified pineal gland that doesn't secrete melanin. So uncircumcised people is talking about the European mutant with an uncircumcised pineal gland, the penis in the brain. Because both of these symbols, both of this track, it connects when you're dealing with the whole sexual tantrum, which you're supposed to be getting down and screwing. Seriously. That's a form of control to keep you from going to the high level and raising your kundalini energy, which is a sexual energy. You see what I'm saying? So uncircumcised pineal gland is uncircumcised people that they're talking about. Who are these unclean people? They're talking about white people with an uncircumcised pineal gland. You see what I'm saying? With an uncircumcised pineal gland. Check. Yeah. You see. And they circumcised the boy to symbolize the circumcised pineal gland, as well as other health physical reasons. But this is the mysteries on these particular things that we're dealing with right now. Y'all all right? Yeah. Okay. Let's go on. Let's see what else we can conjure up. Okay. Let's see what else we can conjure up. Okay. Let's deal with this stuff. Okay. Melanin in new science. Anytime you hear quantum physics, they talk about melanin. Melanin in quantum physics is called chaos. Let's see, give me a good picture of chaos. The chaos sphere. Hold on 1 minute. Get a good picture of the chaos sphere. Melanin in quantum physics is called chaos. Yeah, here's a good picture of chaos, which is how your melanin looks. Okay, this is chaos. You see, ULC stuff like that, that's chaos. That means melanin never stop moving just like the God. And that's the way you dance. I figured in 1977, I said, damn, they done made all the dances that they can make up. But they still inventing them damn things. And they better than the ones damn near 18 years ago. That's because there is no limit on what black people can do. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't put a doggone mathematical equation on chaos. I see some niggas move a certain damn way. You can't. I mean, watch them do some shit now and break down. Watch Soul Train now. The sisters be trying to act cute now, all that model bull guy. Watch the brothers now. You ever see the brother on Soul Train? This nigga be doing some stuff, man. It ain't none of that. You see, the white boy done got all that new stuff, backsliding, all that old shit. Take them about a couple of years to learn our stuff. The niggas will come out with some new shit, and I said, they'll never get that one. They got some new shit now. They flip on the back of their head and be doing some stuff. You ever see this stuff? And come back up. I say, man, that's chaos. That's chaos. That's war. You can't doggone put a damn mathematical equation on H2O. H2O is equivalent to celestial waters of the Nile. celestial new waters of the abyss. Chaos. That's what black people are. That's what melanin is. And that's how you really operate on the higher realms. You are God. When I get into this hidden history of the earth in a few minutes. The chaos sphere. At first, on the earth, we came from shamanistic. This is stuff that you're scared of now. Amethyst spirit. You used to worship stuff where you used to take stuff and use your magic and operate the universe through your own powers. Then you went to religionists. And so the pagan thing here means the people. You say, oh, that's a pagan shit. You don't even know what pagan means. Pagan means the people. It means the ancient black people. It means the people. That's what pagan means. It's an ancient word for people. Who people they talking about? Black people. Oh, that's some pagan shit. You ain't know what pagan means. Pagan means the people. You talk against yourself. That's when we started going. This was spirit. And when we start going into the physical body, we had to go into the mystery system and use the formulas to get back to the Godhead. Then came monotheists. That's when stuff started breaking down. Because see, the monotheistic is the priests. Then they got the ego. They tell you, now we don't want you to deal with your magic and all your multiplicity thing. We want you to worship an old spook thing and be feared of him.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Then the white boy come up. He an atheist and a nihilist and a rationalist. That's the crack of this. This is the education that you so much love. It's not logical. Rationale. You see what I'm saying? That's left brain. You see what I'm saying? That's not logical. Reality is only what you tell yourself it is. You understand what I'm saying? The physical world is only an illusion, a series of events that don't exist. A film projector replaying dreams while your original self is in hibernation sleeping. And the physical world is just a series of roads that does not exist. And that's why you stuck in the physical. That's why it should be in the world but not of the world. You see? And now you're going back to the chaos sphere, the original Godhead. The chaos sphere. Pan demon. Pan is the ancient word for the god Soot. You see the Greek god Pan, which you get those horns with the devil. You thinking the devil, that's another ancient symbol for black man and black woman with the star head. Pan demon. The demon that they're talking about is energy, not no demonic spook spirits. It's demonic spook spirits are those ones who don't have melanin and hear voices in their head. But to you, that's your damn ancestors and other ones on the other side. You see, other ones on the other side. This is what you're going back to the chaos sphere. Chaos sphere. That's what we are. Chaos. Chaos. A state of things which change is supreme. You always change it. That's why you don't hold on to nothing. You invented jazz, now all the white boys play jazz. You don't even play jazz now.
You don't want it.
You invented doggone blues, now all the white boys playing blues. You see what I'm saying? You invented everything else. Now you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You go to another level. You see what I'm saying? State of change. Niggas always changing. Okay? Now, this is beautiful here. Why can't niggas get together? Niggas are unorganized. Chaos. A unorganized state of primordial matter before creation.
Oh, okay.
Now let me explain this to you.
Come on.
If it can be contained, it is dead, stagnant energy. At one time, the white boy was in the cave. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now the white boy has had a behavioral modification where he acts more humane than you do. You killing each other all up, shaking your booty and stuff, wearing strings up your ass and all kind of stuff. Be serious about this stuff. Right? White boy act like he's civilized. But to be civilized in a world that's torn down means if you are in order with a world that's going out, that means you go out with the world.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? Yes. It says chaos and unorganized primordial matter. You are unorganized now because you have outgrown this world. You gave it to the white boys. Okay. You outgrew this world 2,000 years ago. You said, oh, we're going into hibernation and get this shit up to the white boys.
Right.
Just the physical low level.
Yeah.
We're going to another dimension. So you have outgrown this world, and so now you are unruly, unorganized, uncouth, everything, because you are ripe for the world to come. Who is the most ripe man? Who is the most... Listen, let me explain something to you. In science, you have 0 and you have 9. 1 through 9, that's all you got. You can double up on that stuff, but it's 1 through 9 is the number. 9 is completion. 0, 1 is creation. 0, it comes from the ancient word zivo, ancient Atlantean word zivo, which means the circle. And the circle is talking about the black dot, which is creation. And from the whole of the womb, you get the damn completion. The numbers. 1 through 9. You see what I'm saying? Now listen to this. In 1 through 9, if you have an energy, and it goes from 0, and it's in 1, that means that energy still has potential. As long as it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When it gets to 9, it's dead energy because it's hit the wall and there is no more potential. In order for it to either continue to be greater than 9, it must go all the way back to the death state, die, and become nothing, because of nothing you get the absolute.
That's right.
So now you have become a nothing people. So who is the most advanced people on the planet? You see that brother out there with that old English bottle? He's the most advanced. Because he has become nothing, which means when the dimension changes, he will have all the potential.
That's right.
So you have to become to the nothingness. So it's almost like going back in the womb and being born again. Getting back to that nothingness. Taking 9 months to get out and all your fucking life to get back in some vagina.
Okay.
Or penis. Only reason why you have a woman is because a woman is the feminine half that you are longing for. Is the reason why you got to get with the sister. And the sister is the masculine half that you are longing for, because both people have two natures. Man is not man unless man is feminine. Woman is not woman unless woman is masculine. Half and half. It's half. Man is not man unless man is half feminine. Woman is not woman unless woman is half masculine. You understand what I'm saying? And all of it is feminine. No such thing as masculine.
Okay.
No such thing as masculine. This ain't no homosexual stuff. No such thing as masculine. Masculine does not exist. Because when you go to the ancient stuff, when you go to the ancient goddesses, let's deal with this mess. We ain't talking about religion. See, if we say we want to learn knowledge, we can't get in a group and limit ourselves based on the bylaws of the damn group.
Okay.
And the group does not espouse the feminine principle to the utmost.
Okay.
You say, no, I ain't going to deal with that. There's no such thing as masculine. The dualities that you talk about, if you go to the goddesses and study the goddess, you'll see a warrior goddess and you'll see a mother goddess. You see the goddess Sekhmet, you see the goddess Isis, you see the goddess Heru. Why they have all the aspects? Because there's no such thing as masculine. It's just that the masculine half of the feminine has been named masculine. And they cut it off. It's all feminine. You are all chaos. And we're not talking about the androgynous being, because the androgynous being is your species half. We're talking about your nature. The nature, what you call, there is a masculine nature, which is an aggressive, not aggressive, it's called the manifest nature.
Okay.
And the other one is unmanifest.
Right.
Not this, the unmanifest is less, the unmanifest is more powerful, because it gives birth.
That's right.
So the man is nothing but a manifested female.
Right.
A woman is nothing but an unmanifested female, the one that gives the life. You understand what I'm saying? Well, you can't give no life now unless you have the male. I beg you not. A woman can have a baby without a man.
That's right.
A woman can go in Tibet at certain times of certain cycles. They can semen. First of all, the liquid semen carries what is called solar-phatic energy, which the rays of the sun of Sirius gets trapped into your semen, because the sun goes in your pore and turns into semen, liquid semen that can be used for the physical. And you have the baby through that way, through the vaginal fluids in the semen. Basically, the semen is solar-phatic energy. So if a woman at a certain time, and she knew the art, she can fashion her vagina at a certain time, and a certain time of the month, and she can get pregnant by the sun. They can do it in Tibet right now. This is real deal knowledge. Deal with it or let it alone. Because you can't be no high priest, call yourself a high priest, and be anti-woman. You see what I'm saying? And not only that too, see, it happened in a lot of Hebrew stuff and a lot of doggone Christian stuff where at that time when outside races got our material, there was a lot of homosexual, xenophobic stuff. So they changed all the scriptures around and make it negative. But man cannot get to his high level not unless he knows woman. You got to go in the vagina and be born again. Moses went to the 49th level of the Kabbalah, but he did not attain the 50th degree of understanding, which is the sphere of Bina, which is the great mother, the 50th degree. He got 49. Moses couldn't get 50. Bina, understanding, the mother of created world, Saturn, the blackness of the womb, the kitty cat, the womb. He couldn't get to the 50th degree because he stopped sleeping with his wife. He fucked up. You don't hit it, you can quit it. In ancient spiritual knowledge, the woman is the spiritual woman. I know you must have a problem with this. Believe me, sister, listen. What I'm trying to say, sister, is, listen. This is, the reason why this sounds funny is because you have been taught moral laws that have nothing to do with the real spiritual thing. It's something that the priests learn, and it's something that the doggone people in the street learn.
That's right.
And since then, and the people in the street learn laws to behave, to be obedient. That has nothing to do with the spirit world whatsoever.
Go ahead.
Then that's what the priests learn. And the priests learn stuff where sex and the divine essence of femininity and the divine essence of the great cosmic beings is the most divine. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the difference. So if this sounds like stuff that you never heard before, well, that's what knowledge is. You see, the problem is we grew up in America. That's what knowledge is. The word for knowledge, the word science is to know. And knowledge is to know. And if you already knew it, that means you ain't learning knowledge. That's called intellectual liberation, masturbation. Just jacking off ain't producing nothing. Stagnant energy.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Tell the truth.
And the reason why we can't get nowhere is because people come up and tell us what we want to hear, not what we need to hear.
That's right. Break it down.
That's how the flim-flam man can come and get all your money.
That's right.
Telling you what you want to hear and have you going to the bank and drawing out all your shit.
All your money.
And he gets down on you. And that is the conditioning. Education means educare, to draw out. If it's hidden, you don't know nothing about it.
That's right.
So if it's something that you know, that's not knowledge. Woo. That's not knowledge. That's why you go to the church and you go, amen. Well, if it's amen, that means that you agree to it, you must already know about it. And if the preacher telling you something that you already know about, that ain't knowledge. And that's the problem. We don't get knowledge. There's a difference between knowledge and inspiration. Inspiration is something to make you feel good, but outside of leaving in the street, tomorrow you might be the same nigga.
That's right.
Might be all hurt and I'm confused. The key to the universe and the key to God is knowledge.
That's
Wisdom. It's called gnosis, knowing. And what happens about knowledge is, let me tell you how knowledge is. Truth is ranging in fiction, and this is how you know you get knowledge. Because when knowledge makes you flinch and you go, ooh, that's some rough stuff, that means that it's got to be knowledge. If it was the stuff that you agreed to, you understand what I'm saying? If it's something that you agreed to, that's not knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So what it is we've been taught these ways. You see what I'm saying? You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Check? That's what the deal is. So anybody can come and teach you something that you want to know. You understand where I'm coming from? So now the spiritual stuff that we're talking about, Moses can only get to, I'll read it to you. I'll read it to you. You think I'm a nigga lying? Well, go to the scripture. All right.
Go on.
We got to go to the scripture. This is the Holy Kabbalah. The Kabbalah is the precursor to the Bible, which means what the Bible or the Torah is saying. The one you want to get is the Holy Kabbalah, the mystical interpretation of the scriptures by A.E. Waite. Is the one you want, put out by Citadel Press. Now let me look it up in here. I want to show it to you. I want to show it to you and put it right there for you to understand this thing. Bear with me, brother. How much time we got?
Yeah, 15. Well, we want to get a good question answered. I'm sure
Okay. Well, let me read this, and I want to go to two other things. Can you allow me to go to two other things? I swear we're gonna be out of here. Just let me go to two other things. Let's do this thing. I say, let's do this thing, because I say every day we get knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right. Tell it.
You know what? Give me a towel. We'll go out in the damn street. I'm on the road now. I want to give you this. Bear with me. You see. Listen, I want to show you this right now. I want to show you this. Let's see here. I got it. Hold on 1 minute. I want to read it to you. Let you understand right here that I'm not bull jiving you. Always, you're right. Always never take nothing that a person is saying. Always ask for some type of thing that you can go back to and look it for yourself. In this book here, we're going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you. Here it is. This is a A.E. Waite Holy Kabbalah. Now, this is taken from our ancient scripts. Our ancient scripts. Now, this is what it says. There are 49 gates of compassion which connect with the mystery of the perfect man, composed of male and female in the mystery of the faith. These are gates of understanding, referring to Bina, the blackness of the vagina or the womb, or there's different levels, that dwells wherein the spouse of transcendence, who is Shekinah. Shekinah is the fallen daughter, Malkut, the earth, which will be lifted up, which is Shekinah. When you get the Egyptian word Shechem, and the word Shechem, Shek, which means house, and Kim, which means black, the black house, Shekinah is in Egypt, is in Shekinah, which is talking about melanin, which is feminine, Shekinah. But there are the 50th gate in which Moses did not open, according to the divine legend. According to the divine legend. Now listen, let's get this right here. These gates, which synthesize all gates in the degrees of the synthesis of all the degrees, but the gate in the degree of entered into the glory of the Holy One. But the gate is unknown to Israel because they are in exile. That's us. As a result, all gates are shut. That means there's a middle gate, which is the black dot, which is dark, in the middle. This middle gate, let's deal with this. There's a middle gate. In this middle gate, dark, most of the crackers in the Kabbalah, they don't put this middle gate because they don't have dark. So they don't put that black dot. Put all other gates. Now, it says that all other gates are shut because of this gate here. The 50th gate of understanding may become the salvation of the whole world. The 50th gate, because you get to Bina through this particular middle gate. And all. Now listen, may become the salvation of the whole world. Now I want to show you this part here. Moses could only enter 49 of the 50 gates. It says the union of the Father was produced in the light which gave birth to the Son in the gates. To the gates. Now, in this particular book, it says Moses obtained 49 of these gates. Now in here they're going to tell you, they're going to tell you that Moses could not complete the 50th gate within this book because Moses quit sleeping with his wife. You understand what I'm saying? And he quit sleeping with his wife. So you can't get to the other side but through the feminine vessel also too. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what happened when it came to Moses and the whole 9 yards. Now, let's go on. I'm going to get a few other things going. And I want to get a few other things going before we close out. Now, listen. Let's see what we're going to deal with here. Okay. Listen to this. This is what the white boy said in last September. Look what this white boy said. His name is Zoosh. Robert Shapiro is his name. His name is Zoosh. He got a book that's coming out. There's a book called Sidonia Magazine. You ever heard of Sedona Magazine? You might see it in some of these Barnes & Noble should sell some of them. Go in there and look for Zoosh's book. If you get Sedona, look in there and they'll have an advertisement of his book coming out. Listen what Zoosh says. Dark races hold the feminine principle but are going home. What do they mean by that? The feminine principle just means spirit. It's a code word. When they say spirit, they'll say feminine principle because they mean the dark races have a spirit or a soul and we don't. So they say hold the feminine principle. You know it's the soul. Dark races hold the feminine principle but are now going home. I would say, generally speaking, to the southern hemisphere is 1/3 likely to have extreme experiences. But I must exclude Africa. In Africa, India, Pakistan, populations have been exploring. I have explored for many years. These people are actually planning to return to their home planets. Same Earth, different dimensions. New, but you ain't going nowhere. You're talking dimensions. And the planets are cosmic power zones that line up. And they're dimensions, more than physical planets. This is the only physical.
Right.
Same Earth, different reality. This is so what it is, the physical is getting ready to get away. This is which is the illusion. The physical world is an illusion. Quantum physics. There's a book called A Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot. And this is all a hologram. That's why you can't get it. And the more and more you get stuck into your looks and your appearances and all the clothes you got or what kind of car you driving, the more and more you stuck into the hologram. Check. These people are actually getting ready to return to their home planets or home dimensions. I have said for many years that if there's not enough dark-skinned people on the earth, it is not likely that the earth human population will be viable. Now he's telling this to white people. I know it's hard for you to imagine this. I'm telling this to white people. How this is possible. You talking about these niggas? But the people of dark skin, regardless of how they express themselves, because no, not them fools acting like fools. No, he got to put it. Regardless of how they express themselves, act as a link to the Sirius star system, from which the feminine principle radiates and supports humanity. If the population of dark-skinned people falls below 7% of the world's total, I don't think you'll be able to go on. But it is more likely that your reproduction will go into decline. White people are having like 1 out of 5 babies now. All kind of fertilizing, thing. Now they even say they even doing genetic testing with cows so they can have babies inside of the wombs of cows. What? You see what I'm saying? You see, dark-skinned people radiate the feminine principle more than any other group. African people as a group and many people of India, Pakistan, and thereabouts are planning to return to their home planet. Many of which are from the solar system, Sirius, Andromeda, and the Pleiades, which all planets and all things are coming into one now. Which there's no such thing as planets, it's all going to be one, one dimension. The other dimension, which is just nothing but like if you just take the dial and just turn it just a thing over, you'll see all your parents that you found and stuff that's dead and stuff, and your brothers and sisters waiting on your behind. Now, it says, they're planning on returning in massive the next 30 years. No, that can be 30 days. Because you wait 30 years, this cracker's going to have you barbecued. He ain't got no 30 years. And they say, Jesus, they say, what? God going to come like a thief in the night. You ever heard that in the Bible? So it can't be the year 2000. Right. It's got to be before then. Because the white boy going to be waiting on it. And every time after the year 2000, he's going to be killing up some things because he know you be coming to that. That's why it's get ready to come now. Right. It can be today, it can be tomorrow, it can be a year from now. But you don't know the hour, but you know the season. Anytime it snows, 50-something snowstorms, it's snowstorms, and the weather gets cold, and fires, and hurricanes, and all this kind of stuff here. Right. And they say when self-accused self, Washington, D.C. talking junk about each other like dogs. You see what I'm saying? You'll know that it's the end. It says, I am not exactly sure how you can encourage them to stay here. Not if you're talking about you're going to get killed behind this thing. You can't encourage me nothing. But their leaving will probably affect things. On the other hand, if there's enough dark-skinned people in the rest of the earth, you will be all right. So you see, these places I will generally make exceptions for. I realize that this will encourage groups of people to run to the southern hemisphere. There you have it while they're wiping out Africa, killing millions of them, so they can have a homeland. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? The book Richard Noon, Ice the Ultimate Disaster, said in the book that crackers was going to return to Africa in the 90s. And they're wiping out. That's what this whole thing, anytime you see about all them places, all them millions of black people dying, that's because crackers is killing them off with AIDS, Ebola, and gang warfare. That's right. and all that so they can have it. And the best, most fertile land is the one that they having the most trouble with. And what's the last one they did last year? Rwanda. Rwanda is full of oil, uranium, and all the stuff. And that's the ones that they're doing. But in a larger sense, this would not be so bad because be so bad to offer than the northern hemisphere than just raw materials. He's saying that Africa got all the raw materials. But he said what you got to do is an attitude of greater life is a sense of eternal love. He's telling you, white people, you got to learn how to love. And a behavioral modification to get along with a person is not love. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you all right, but you different than the rest of your people. I am my people, and my people are me. What the hell are you talking about?
That's right.
Check. One more thing. To let you know, because you still scared and you looking for some stringy-head cracker to come back and save you.
Break it down.
In the Kabbalah again now. You have the esoteric version, which is your Torah in the Kabbalah, in your Bible. You have your you have your exoteric, which is your outer stuff. That's the garment. You have your esoteric, which is your Kabbalah, which is your Egyptian Book of the Dead. Your which is mean the original soul. The illusion of that scripture says, "A new heart I will give to you, and a new spirit I will put within you. And again it shall come to pass when I will pour out my flesh, my spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and daughters shall prophesy, and old men shall dream dreams, and young men shall see visions. And the intruders," what's an intruder? An intruder is a person that wasn't there in the beginning, an outsider, or somebody that busts in your house, kill your people, take over your house, rape your children.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? And set up there.
Set up camp.
Set up camp. That's an intruder. You know who that is, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Plain and simple, the cracker. But, and the intruder, now I don't know if you know, but you know what an intruder is. That's somebody that wasn't there in the beginning. We want to be, you know, and this is in the ancient scriptures. And the intruder shall be exterminated at the time when this shall be accomplished, which is said in the old tradition. To the period will be referable to the text in Genesis where they say Adam and Eve will be naked and ashamed. They're talking about this white man. Because you are the original Adam, the Adam Cadmon, the divine man. The reason for being the intruders cause luxury. Money, material goods, car, my house, my car, my damn job, my suit, my damn shoes. That's why you can't get past nothing. You fixed into the physical world. You stuck in the hologram. The intruders call luxury. And when they disappear, all learning towards incontinuance will vanish. Which means in actuality, all leaning towards incontinuance. Because incontinuance means you're supposed to be learning a certain amount of things, or they're holding you back. Incontinuance will vanish. Now, let's look and see right down here. They got a footnote at the bottom on the intruders. The reference, okay, let's see. The reference is primarily to the mixed crowd who followed Israel during the exodus from Egypt and were not afterwards separated from the chosen people. That's why you don't know who's who. Okay. See, the scripture's telling you right now who the devil is. You see what I'm saying? From the chosen people. Now, it says, look, and all learning because from incontinuous will vanish likewise. Now look at this. Now this is the point I want to get right here. Look at this. It says, a change will come over Israel. I'm going to slow down. I want you to get this. So that it shall enter on all planes in all worlds. That means every last sphere of that Kabbalah, which is different planets, going to come together into the center, or at the bottom here. What is up is down. Malkuth is the daughter, and it's going to gain all of the things going to come right here on the earth. The earth is the kingdom. They say this is the kingdom of God. That's why the angels pray to you. If you take a down hourglass, you look it up. You take an hourglass and turn it upside down. What is up is not down.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now the kingdom is here. And all the ancestors on the universe is here now. You just can't see because your third eye ain't open now. They're here now with us.
Yeah, that's right.
You understand? You can feel it because you got a certain amount of knowledge now. And always got to listen to thoughts because thoughts is things.
Right.
Now listen to this. Look at this. So they say, and it shall enter on all planes and by all worlds with the help of the right spirit renewed within them. This is the spirit of the Messiah. It is written, renewed a right spirit within me. And we know that Christ, who is to come, is in all of us. Christ, Christos, the black dot, the anointed one, is in all of us. So you're looking for a Christ, and they say go within, because Christ is within.
Right.
And that's in all of us. That's in the Holy Kabbalah. Now you got it in black and white. Now, since we bucked for time, I'd like to continue on. I go all night, but anyway, we'll come back. Let's go into a question and answer. Let's go into a question and answer right now, so we can get some things going down. All right. One thing, let me read this one part, practical Egyptian magic. Read this one last little sentence. You can wait for a sentence. Look at this. This one last sentence. Listen, look at this. 1 minute. I want to get this one last sentence. Where y'all? Right here. It matters not somehow that the magical system that filtered down through us through many ages. Many reliable psychics, mystics, firmly ascribe to the idea of a special gene, personalized time capsule, programmed with the knowledge of the old ones, who came from Sirius star system centuries ago. This gene has been passed down for generation and generation to the present day. The Sirius genetic strand of a new school of magic has emerged. That gene they're talking about is the black dot within you, and it goes into the blood in Christ of kings. And it's the blood of Christ, or the kingly blood, or the priestly blood, or the blood of the Holy Grail is in you, which is in your central nervous system, which is carbon.
That's right.
666, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, which means carbon. Which is 666 is 18, 1 and 18 is 9. 9 is completion. Check. All right, then. Okay, let's go into a question and answer, because I can go all night. But let's go into a question and answer. What's that, brother?
I was going to ask you to elaborate more on the brother.
Well, Jupiter and Saturn that they're talking about, in actuality, they are now here. All that stuff has come together, but the reason why we're not seeing them is because our third eye is not open. And so what it is the kingdom has now risen. The kingdom is now risen. The kingdom rose actually when the white buffalo was born on the Indian reservation last September of 1994, right after you had two events. You had the Dogon did the Siggy ceremony, and might I add spiritually, the same day they were doing that, the brothers and sisters was doing the Freaknik in Atlanta inadvertently, and that's what scared the white boys. And so then you had the white buffalo being born on the Indian thing. Yeah, the white buffalo being born on the Indian thing, and so much the comets and everything is actually here now. It's just that we haven't opened up to see it. So the kingdom is already here now. That's why the cracker can't predict no weather. You know the cracker spent $1 million. He spent $1 billion in the weather service last year and was wrong. He predicted it to be hot this winter.
That's right.
And even when see, first of all, you have Philadelphia, which is your first capital. You know, the Liberty Bell. Boston, which is one of the first ones of the colonies. You understand what I'm saying? And D.C., which is also represents the second calendar, all of them got swamped with snow. And when it hit 30 feet of snow in Philadelphia, the crackers came on TV and said the snow came down like a rider of the white horse. You know what he's talking about. So there's thing they say when the apocalypse comes, it'll be in 10 years, and the people have been so conditioned of doggone troubles and be so conditioned into bad news until the apocalypse could come, and they won't even know it's been in 10 years. But if you were to take an ancient man and he would look into the future, he'll go, my God! You understand what I'm saying? This is beyond the apocalypse. I can't even imagine. You see what I'm saying? We are in the apocalypse, been in the apocalypse for 10 years, damn near.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So we are at the end of this thing, and you know the season. So what's happening is all those systems will now come together. We just haven't seen them based on we're the last ones to wake up, and that's because we are still looking with these eyes. And our eyes are getting ready to open up anyway. You see what I'm saying? And that's some stuff that's going on. What's that, sister?
I remember anyone want to hear about Saturn, we wanted to have a song called Going Back to Saturn.
On which album was that? Secret Life of Plants?
Yeah, before then.
Okay, you know, because Stevie Wonder got in a car wreck in the 1970s.
Yeah.
And not only that, too, he almost died. But what they say was that some entities came and got him out the car and operated on him and put him back in the car. And when they got him, he almost died, but he came through. And right after he got in the wreck, his music came to a new height. Because he had songs that kill life. And the crackers was like, oh, God, man, this nigga here got too much hits on this double album. They was like, oh, man, what, man, that was it. See, right after that, you know, and stuff like that, because so he was a divine essence, as well as Jimi Hendrix. I want to say Jimi Hendrix was murdered. Jimi Hendrix was murdered. Jimi Hendrix, the white girl just said he took some sleeping pills because he was supposed to get back on the thing and plane and go back to America. What happened with Jimi Hendrix is that they hooked him up with that white girl, and that white girl sniffed him some stuff and took him out. Because he vomited, and she told me, I didn't turn him over. Nigga got a box full of vomit, and you don't turn him over. She killed him, because what happened was is he was putting white people in the altered states of consciousness with his music. That's what he did to Voodoo Child. If I don't see you in this world, I'll see you in the next, and don't be late.
That's right.
And so what happened was is Jimi Hendrix, they killed Jimi Hendrix because they had known, the secret societies had already known that Aleister Crowley had done the same thing when he had a magical papyrus called the Rites of Eleusis, where you take an actual Egyptian play and you go into the play, and when the people in the play, once they perform the play, it puts you in the altered states of consciousness.
That's right.
So what happened was is Jimi Hendrix was putting them crackers through altered states of consciousness. And they knew that he was a Christ figure in the form of he was raised to a certain level, because we are all the Christ figures. So they took him out. You see what I'm saying? They took him out because he said, I'm going back to America now. And I'm getting ready to get back into my deepest form of the blues. Because this thing was blues. He said, well, I'm going back and I'm going to join up with the eyes. So he was coming back, and they said, oh no, if he put them niggas in the altered state, we got to take him out. So they took him out. You see what I'm saying? But others came. Maurice White of Earth, Wind and Fire, Christ figure. Richard Pryor, Christ figure. They lobotomized him in 1980. When they burned him up and they got him in the hospital, they lobotomized him. And he ain't never been funny after he came out of there. He's never been funny. Next thing you know, he riding around on little old cars with little white boys pushing him. Now how can you come from making a movie to toy and all kind of corny movies from making Which Way Is Up? You see what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But when he did his TV show, he was so high. And see what happened was, the consciousness had gone from the level of protest in the 60s. So the consciousness came through the music, Curtis Mayfield, Earth, Wind and Fire, the OJs with Chipper Hoy, and people all over the world, and Bob Marley, and Bob Marley, and it came to it jumped. Yeah. So what happened was, the comedian Christ figure, he was dropping. He came out with bicentennial niggas say he thought I forgot, but I ain't gonna never forgot. And all his jokes was talking about how he would make fun about how the white boy wasn't nothing. Yeah. And his TV show came on and did a couple episodes, they had to take it off. Yeah. And when he came on, in the summer of 1990, when he came on Johnny Carson, the man was so funny until Johnny Carson could not even finish the show almost. He was making Johnny laugh so bad until Johnny said, you got to shut up. I can't even finish the show. That's how awesome he was. And a few months later, about a month later, he was in the hospital based on some bullshit, and they lobotomized him. And now you see him all shaking and shit? That's the damn cracker did that. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told Muhammad Ali, say, man, look, you got a big ego. It ain't about talking shit to these crackers like that all the time. He said, it's going to do something to you. He said, the wise, we got to conspire wisely against him. But he did it. They said, okay, cool, we under protection. So when he got, so when he won, so right after he crossed over, and he went to this Sunni thing, and he just went to say he just practicing Islam, and he denounced Honorable Elijah Muhammad before them crackers. Nigga ain't talk sense. Them niggas, but them crackers say, okay, we got your ass. Them crackers put him in the hospital. Clip, shoot some stuff to you. That's how they take out Arthur Ashe. Arthur Ashe behind. He's a white man's nigga, but they knew he did some work in South Africa. Okay, let's come on over here to this damn this Red Cross. You don't know we put the Red Cross. And we know where we track the bags on where they go out, so the Red Cross blood can give niggas AIDS. Give that nigga some AIDS blood, because he too didn't know that the cracker was the devil. You see what I'm saying? Didn't know the cracker. So Stevie Wonder and all of those and stuff was spiritual, was spiritual visions and spiritual voices and stuff, and also and it continues. So that's one too. Give me some more questions. Okay, got you then you. What's that?
You talked about Israel. What does that mean again?
Israel, see, the Egyptians, see, the thing about it is what the white boy don't want you to know is this. When you hear Moses growing up in the Pharaoh's house and all that, what they didn't tell you is those were the same race of people, the Egyptians and the same linguistic term. Israel is, which means Isis, Ra, which means the son or the father, And El means the Elohim, but one of the ancient Hebrew words for El means the Son. So it means the Mother, the Father, and the Son. It's the Holy Trinity. In Israel, El just means black people. Jerusalem, Jeru, which means Heru Salam, Heru in peace, Christ in peace, just means your soul. Mount of Olives. The mount is a pyramid. It's Mount Hotep in Egypt. It's Mount Olympus in Greece, which is the black Greeks. And it's Mount of Olives. Olives is the black olive and a green olive. Osiris is the black and the green god. Olive is black and green, which the melanin is in blackness, black plants, and it's also in plant life, green, chlorophyll. So black and Mount of Olives means the Mount Apex, it means the Mount of melanin. Olive oil. The oil comes from the root word. The root of oil is crude oil. And crude oil has carbon in it. And carbon is the basis of melanin. Mount of Olive, or the anointed one, means black people. Means black people. You see what I'm saying? Means black people. And the Bible I got a whole breakdown of the Bible on all of that type of stuff. So Israel just means black people. It means the sons and daughters. The chosen seed of Israel is the black dot. The chosen seed of Israel is the black dot. The seed is the black dot, which is this is the chosen seed of Israel, which is in you, which is a son. Because from that you get from that black dot, you get the prism and the halo around Jesus' head, which is radiating from the black dot. Because from that black dot, you get the prism or halo that radiates from it, like this. From the black dot, you get this. And all of the symbols of the zodiac and all of the sciences within you. And you become one with God. And the black dot, when you see the halo around Jesus' head, which symbolizes also the afro. That's why they told him, get rid of them damn afros in the 70s. You thought it was what's called, was a lot of things that come out. They geared you towards a certain amount of things. Alan Biggers deal with that whole thing. On how they gear you towards something. All they do is just come in and manufacture some shit and put it in a magazine. Niggas say, I like that. Few people got it. The same thing with the blonde hair. Only thing they did with Naomi Campbell is in 1981, the white faggot designers put a blonde wig on Naomi's head, and then they start putting on a few models, and the project girl say, oh, okay. I see that. And the next thing you know, you see everybody with the gold hair. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff they create for us. You see what I'm saying? So the seed of Israel is that's what they're talking about. What's that, brother?
Yeah, Brother Bob, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Brother named John Moore.
Yeah.
Dr. Moore.
John Moore, yeah.
Dr. Saban.
Yeah.
Other brothers, because I teach African martial arts.
Yeah.
So I have to study herbology. Well, we got formulas that not only can cure AIDS in record time.
Yeah.
They're right here. They're damn near right in York.
Yeah, they're right.
So why isn't that cartel dealing with these Negro preachers trying to get this information to the church? Because
the thing about it is that's the wrong place to go. The churches, you got to realize one thing about the churches. The churches,
right,
they cannot do it. They don't tell you this. They can't do it, and the black masons can't do it.
right.
And anybody in here black mason, you want to challenge me on the masonry, I got a damn book right here, and I guarantee you, if anybody nigga in here a mason, if he can read one paragraph in this book and tell me what it is, I'll say he a real mason. That ain't nothing but some Jack and Jill clubs and all, you know, a Negro spiritual camp and all. They ain't got nothing to do with no real masonry. You learning the real masonry, because the one thing about the real masonry, if you go to the white boy masonry, they got women in the masonry. Go get ancient mystic rites. C.W. Lebed and see the sisters up in there, the white women up in there. 33rd degree, Andy Bazant, 33rd degree, Madame Blavatsky. So that stuff, they ain't nothing but some niggas singing, I'm going to sound like. But what it is about the church and all this, let me tell you something else about the church. The churches can't do it for the simple fact, that the churches can't do it for the simple fact that they are run by the government, by the bylaw. Another thing also, too, let me tell you the truth, too. There's certain energies, there's certain overlords that rule the universe. There is a lower overlord by the name of Adal-Labroth. I'm going to tell you who he is. See, in the ancient world, the ancient devil, Set Typhon, or there's two Set Typhon, but the devil, the prototype, that particular one, Set Typhon, and Adal-Labroth, you will know them because Adal-Labroth, these particular ones, they're called the jealous god. Idolater said, I am a jealous God, and I shall have no gods before me. Now I want to ask you, which one do they worship in the Christian church? Do they worship a jealous God? My God is a jealous God, and I shall have no gods before me? You should get the original scripture come out of the Gnostic text. He said, I am a jealous God, and I shall have no God before me. But his mother Sophia said, don't lie, Idolater. There is a God before you, and he is the God on earth, which is us. And Idolater said, I'll kill them all, and I'll make them worship me, and I'll turn against the woman. And that church is ruled by Idolater. And right here, you can get it right here in the ancient scriptures, because remember now, your Christian church, the Greeks, after Jesus died, the Romans put together the Christian religion, and they took the ancient Gnostic scripts that the Greeks had, and they turned it all and made it all into some particular entity and stuff. But this book here, the secret books of the Egyptian Gnostics, in here they'll talk about it on page 37. These are the original texts that the Bible is concocted out of. And the God that most people are worshiping, because to worship the one instead of becoming the one, which means that you are up under that entity. And that entity is run by the government, and not only that too, you can get killed behind messing around them people. I'm telling you what I know. You can get taken out for messing around that damn church. That is not the move. I don't care for all your people in the church. So what? It ain't about the masses of the people. They say that our people perish from a lack of knowledge. They said not only that, in the ancient time in the Epistle of Sophia, which is the Gnostic text, they say our people who reject initiation will doggone be chastised until the doggone last days. So some of our people are being chastised because they're ignorant. You see what I'm saying? Some of our people actually rejected this stuff and will talk junk about that old nigga and that old black shit. And then the next thing you know, the child got AIDS, child got the disease, just like that old Rod Carew. He gonna go marry the cracker, and then the child get all messed up and come up with a funny disease because they can't find nobody with the same Jewish ancestry thing, and the sister ended up dying. But if he had any knowledge, all he had to do was take her to damn Africa. He just took her to Africa, took her to Nigeria, a bottle of alcohol, cured that stuff in a couple of minutes. The crackers fly to Africa every day. Get dang, they got crackers, legs cut off. They say, no, they say, we cutting your leg off in the morning. That thing about rotten, just stink up the whole hospital. Right. Cracker jump on a plane, go to Nigeria, the priest go in there, and cure his leg overnight.
Bobby, I have to say this. And then, Minister Farrakhan, and I don't care who with the nation, you can challenge me right now. The brother is growing cows, which is poison to people with melanin. Okay? Right. And then he talking about Cameron, some type of aid improvement. When Dr. Slavery won his case in the Supreme Court, my ex out there in California working with his son, and I mean, you can be curious. Let me tell you what the deal is with him. When Carly got shot, he didn't even go visit Carly in the hospital. He's gonna be here next week.
Carly, he cut Carly off totally. He don't want nothing to do with Carly because the government told him, hey, look, we can't get down with this thing if you're gonna be with Carly. You gotta cut Carly off. Next thing you know, he go to Million Man March. He telling everybody to vote. Everybody to vote. And all this kind of thing here. He telling everybody to vote. And all this kind of thing. Let me tell you something. Now, let's just use our brain. Anybody study anything on the New World Order? Did the New World Order tell you that the doggone government own all media? TV and press? See, black people got a 3-year attention span. That means anything past 3 years you don't remember because you're a current people. You are a popular culture. That's called an animal box. But feel good, taste good, smells good, and look good. And every time past 3 years, if it ain't current, you abandon it because you don't have a memory span. In the 80s, they wouldn't dare even put him on TV. And all of a sudden, he on TV, he on the Newsweek, he on the Time, he on the print. You don't get on the damn TV. You don't get on the TV, not unless you down with the system. Come on, I let you know how you telling the truth. Because have you ever seen any other the scholars or anybody else on TV? No. John Henry Clark and them done preached until they over. You might see them on the Republic aspect, but you never seen them on national TV. Why is it that if the white man, the devil, and the Jews is all this, and you write a book about the secret relationship of the Jews, why you gonna come on national TV and repudiate Colin in front of the Jews as the Jew the devil?
Right. And he teaches. Right. So,
and he ain't said no more than what Minister Farrakhan said. Because that Minister Farrakhan is a government installation. Okay.
We know that.
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. The reason I know because the thing about it is because the doggone what's name put a hit out on me. I told him, I said, you don't know who you dealing with. I said, I walk in front of the mosque every day. And y'all niggas won't do nothing to me. They had a hit out on me last year. And the niggas, they see me now, they buck bang. But I'm trying to tell you. What's called, Dawood called for the death of Minister Farrakhan. He said, you said if you sell out, then kill me. Well, what you doing filling for the Jews? He said, I called for the death of Minister Farrakhan. And them niggas didn't even budge. Because I know one thing about them. They won't do nothing. They'll kill their own in the nation, but they won't kill the white man either. They'll talk all that gang shit and stuff. But that's what happened. I'm just telling you what the thing went up. When you gonna say, Uncle Eisenhower tell you never to vote? He wrote a book in 1973 called what? The Destruction of the Fall of America. You gonna write one in 1993 called Torchlight for America.
Yeah, right. That's Torchlight.
Right. And now he on TV talking about he got Jewish ancestry. So what else? We got white people in our family. My damn brother, my granddaddy died, a white man came to the funeral and said, who that? That's the nigga brother. That's the nigga brother. So all of us got white people in our family. Big deal. So what else? How they come in looking like this? We all got white in our family. That don't mean that you got to damn sit up and tell, oh, I got Jews in my family. And we want to dialogue with some Jews. And the nation done become, they done took over the Rainbow Coalition with voter registration. They the #1 voter registration and the best dressed paper boy. And now they selling apples and oranges out the damn street up there and stuff like that. And what's the name of steady getting rich? See, the thing about it is, let me tell you what the real deal is. Let me tell you the truth. The more and more I got up in the spirituality, the more and more my financial troubles became bad. Cutting off lights. I don't have no money. Really right now, no money and shit. Here this nigga living in a damn lap of luxury. If you're a spiritual man, if you're a spiritual man, why you want that in the first place? That ain't being blessed. Being blessed is your damn people out of this shit. That's being blessed.
You don't sleep no night.
Being blessed is your people out of this stuff. Somebody said, don't I have the right to be comfortable? Not as long as my people out there rotting it, I don't have the right to be comfortable.
And brag about it too.
For whom much is given, all is required. Much is required. I don't have the right. You understand? I don't have the right to be comfortable.
That's right.
And that's what the deal is. They call it the suffering Messiah. It's not written in the law that heal God. What is the suffering Messiah? Once you become in the knowledge, when you become in the knowledge and stuff, the Spirit starts taking you from the material things to improve upon your life and the pain and suffering on those he loves. That nigga, they're living like the damn Bill Clinton. Better than Bill Clinton. He make more money. So give me some of, what's that, brother?
About the, what's your idea on the Canaanites' relationship of the Canaanites and from that lineage through which did Melchizedek come through, or is that not historical figure?
No, that's not historical. The Canaanites and stuff like that they talk about, the Canaanites and all the kind of thing like that, no. First of all, the Canaanites that they talk about, first of all, that was all black people, first of all, that they talk about.
Right.
Melchizedek, which means Sutek, which comes from the word soot. See, a lot of things is meant to be, my point is I'm not discounting the Hebrew myth. What I'm trying to say is for everything that they have that you think is historical is a metaphysical thing. Mm-hmm. And it's that way. It's a metaphysical thing. You see what I'm saying? That's why if you deal with the Kabbalah and what they deal with now, they'll show you what a lot of things is metaphysical. So what it is the priests had to concoct two histories. They had to concoct a history for the masses of the people, where they go through a historical base to try to learn some degree of what spirituality is. And their things is totally different. They don't even deal on the physical as far as the historical thing. History is only a lie agreed upon, and on what you tell yourself it is. There's only true gnosis, knowing, and it ain't got nothing to do with nothing historical. It's got something to do with your body. So every point of what they talk about in Israel, Jerusalem, the Canaanites, and the Moabites and all this is talking about the systems of your body. And it ain't really little history. Actually, a lot of that stuff in primal history didn't even go on, not even in Egyptian history. The damn Egyptian priests, Manetho told them that stuff. That stuff didn't even go on. And a lot of them statues they built and painted white so the white boy can get it. So the white boy can think it was us, so when he got our knowledge, he could put it in books so we can learn it. They had this stuff set up in advance. Hold on a moment, I'm going to get back with you. I'm going to get some other people with you. You see like that. What's that?
Oh, Bobby, maybe it'd be better too if people knew that the Bible is based upon, like you said, some historical facts has been distorted, but it's based on lunar and solar and astrology, metaphysical,
and all of that kind of stuff. That too. And what it is the point is The point is yes. The point is most, if you're dealing with the priesthood, they don't even deal on that realm. They don't even deal on that realm. All that stuff is metaphysical. You see, they don't even deal on that realm as far as it no. So what I'm trying to say is if you're gonna read the like the Torah, now read the Zohar. Get a book called Entrance into the Zohar by Philip S. Berg. Entrance into the Zohar by Philip S. Berg. Get this book. The Gnostic Scriptures by Bentley Layton. The Gnostic Scriptures by Bentley Layton. If you want to hear something about some Hebrew stuff, get the Hebrew stuff on the Messiah because it's more authentic. You either read the Egyptian stuff or the Hebrew thing. Because if you're dealing with the Christian thing, see, a lot of that was with the Greeks turn that around. Get the Hebrew thing, because get the book, the Messiah text, The Legend of the 3,000 Years by Raphael Patti. So you dealing with some stuff that's more authentic than dealing with the Christian thing. See, that's why see what happened was is I know we got to go, but listen. What happened was is this. See, the reason why when the whole thing with Christ, the reason why they couldn't fool the Jews. Remember now, he was following the Jews. When he got taken out, Jews said, he ain't no damn Messiah. No way. Because based on the Egyptian scriptures, the Ethiopian scriptures, and based on the book of Enoch, when the Messiah comes, he's supposed to be slaying this cracker, and Israel's supposed to be redeemed. So here you a person that came, and you get taken out, you ain't the Messiah. That's why the Jews ain't never followed that. That was the Greeks, who Romulus and Remus and their society was dying because they didn't have no mythology. Because back then, if you didn't have a strong mythology, you couldn't have order. You got to have your stuff right. And their stuff was dying. Them crackers said, we don't believe in none of that stuff no more. That's from Romulus. So they said, no, we got to get a religion. Yes. So they came in and said, we're going to take this cat that was crucified, and we're going to make a religion around him. And we're going to take the ancient Hebrew, the ancient Gnostic, and the ancient Egyptian stuff that the Greeks left behind, and we're going to go in there, and the Christos, instead of the Christos being a damn title, we're going to make it one person. And they made the shit for a rule. You see what I'm saying? Get a book called The Origins of Satan by Elaine Peckles. Because see, a lot of people scared of this devil myth. White woman out of Princeton. Origins of Satan, Elaine Peckles, hardback for like $20. Shit's selling out among the white people, buying the hell out of it. And it's called The Origins of Satan. In this book, they're going to tell you in the book, she said there's two histories. She said the writer of the 4 Gospels condemned to hell as creatures of Satan, all followers are all Jews and all followers of ancient black people who say, I ain't going along with that Jesus thing. They say, oh, you the devil. You Satan. And that's how the origins of Satan came in. And then got your origins of Satan coming. What's that?
Okay, I understand the aspect of what the Greeks did in the Christos, which they got from Krishna and all that. Yeah. But as far as the Mashiach, as prophesied with regard to Daniel, and those prophetic elements in Daniel, that's the sign of the 70 weeks and